Greetings, everyone. How are y'all feeling out there? It is a Sunday night, and Mother's Day, last Mother's. And yeah, it's not always the easiest day to observe, celebrate for many of us, especially with everything going on now. It's been a minute. So just a quick update. Pluto went retrograde on the 6th of May, and it'll be retrograde until October 15th, which Pluto has everything to do with transformation and bringing up old traumas and hurts and, going inward to really excavate what's been holding us back and maybe weighing us down, keeping us from being truly authentic. So that could be something that many of us are working through, and a lot of it may have to do with our family, of course, and mothers being part of that, a big part of it. And so we're probably in the process of working those things out, and it's not exactly a comfortable time to be celebrating, and we all want to honor and acknowledge everybody's journeys and life path and experiences that have brought us to this moment. But yeah, it's not always the easiest. So if you are one of those people, I definitely feel you, and my heart goes out to you. And yeah, know that you're not alone. And another part of this time that we're in, like these times, these energies that we're experiencing, the conversations between the planets that are happening, that is in our chart, our personal chart. So just something to connect it to. For me, I am going through what's called a Secondary Progressed Scorpio Moon. And so all of us have progressed transits, and so the moon is the planet that moves the fastest. And so the progress chart is basically taking each, the first, say, like 80 days of your life connects to the first 80 years of your life. So for me, where I'm at, 49, on the 49th day of my birth, the moon was traveling through Scorpio. So I'm going through a secondary progressed Scorpio moon. And so they change signs every 2.5 years. So it takes about 30 months to go through one sign, because it takes about 28 months to go through one sign as far as your secondary progressed moon, because on a regular month it takes about 2.5 days for the moon to change signs. And so the Scorpio moon, like being a natal Aquarius moon, it's very uncomfortable because the Aquarius moon is, more in the head, less emotional, like more intellectual and more emotionally distant. And so they're both fixed signs. So that's another component of this discomfort. They square each other. But the Scorpio moon can be very intense and obsessive. And it's, with any water secondary progressed moon, it's a time for like inward focus where you're healing yourself. Like water signs are all about the emotions and working through the experiences that have had an emotional impact on you. And so with the Scorpio progressed moon, this is emotions that have been suppressed, that have not seen the day of light really, and those experiences that we tend to sweep under the rug, or just kind of forget about and suppress and distract ourselves with other things to not deal with them. Like, I'm almost done with this Scorpio progressed moon, and it'll move into Sagittarius in about 4 or 5 months. And so right now I'm at 26.5 degrees Scorpio for my progressed moon. And so it's at the tail end of this cycle, and I feel like a lot of this last decan, the last few degrees of the Scorpio progressed moon is like the intensity of these emotions and the excavation of these shadow sides, those, experiences that we thought we forgot about or maybe didn't even realize existed until some sort of trigger or some sort of, memory or something that reminds us that this is not healed. And so today with Mother's Day, that's like another reminder of the healing that needs to take place. And so, this focus on inner healing is taking priority and, like showing me the importance of working through this as opposed to, taking care of the basic mundane tasks is already also feeling like overwhelming because I want to, or have this like compulsion or need to find out more truth about. It can come up in a lot of different ways. Like for me, being an astrologer, I connect things to my chart. And so one of the things that is, it's a lot of synchronicities, actually. The people that you meet, the information that comes across your feed, or, just these curiosities that have you going to the library and like wanting to find out more. And one of them for me today was the discovery of an asteroid named Medea, Medea, and her asteroid number is 292, and she apparently does not have a good reputation. And of course, like all the asteroid goddess stories, their stories are written from a patriarchal view because these are like Greek mythologies that was written in like 400, and when they are retold in present day, you get another layer, another perspective of what really went down. And so Medea, like if you do a quick search on her, she was, this ruthless goddess who was scorned because her husband cheated on her and she killed her children as revenge. But like it goes a lot deeper than that. Like the husband Jason completely gaslighted her, and there's all these sacrifices that Medea made for love for her husband, and then to be cheated on and then exiled from their city. It was that feminine rage, that passion that compelled her to act in the way she did. And there's a storyteller, what is her name? Fig Tree on YouTube, who gave a very entertaining, she flips the script at the end. It's about an hour long, and there's like a breakdown of how the feminist perspective or feminism is, like that label is kind of slapped on stories, just kind of for lack of more nuanced perspective, because the story is written originally by Euripides, who does share the feminine perspective, but then there's still layers of misogyny that is defended in the story. So it's definitely worth the 54 minutes that she talks about it, and it's edited really cleverly. I love her style of storytelling. But yeah, come to find out, looking at the asteroid number on astro.com, you can pull up your birth chart and then enter in 292 for Medea, and it'll show you where Medea was at the time of your birth. And so when I did that, it turns out that I'm having a Medea return. So it was at 6 degrees Aries when I was born, and it is currently at 5 degrees Aries in the sky. And so the synchronicity, the timing, and the configuration of Medea's placement and the upcoming Chiron return, or the current Chiron return that is unfolding in front of me, along with the secondary progressed Scorpio moon, like it really all ties together. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The connections this is part of also the Scorpio. The Scorpio moon is that like investigative, obsessive, like wanting to know more, like wanting to get to the bottom of things and finding out more truth, like truth after truth. And it can be very therapeutic, and that's what it's meant to do. Like Scorpio is all about the transformation. And, you know, before I can move into my secondary progressed Sagittarius moon, there has to be a lot of clearing out. And so that's going to happen internally and emotionally. And as that happens, then the external purging, I feel like, can also take place, because that's going to have to happen in order for me to take off. Like Sagittarius wants to take off and travel and explore, and in order to do that, the load has to be lightened. So yeah, it was just kind of like a interesting discovery, revelation, epiphany that came to me today. And in case you are also feeling this uncharacteristic kind of need for introspection, you know, like we are kind of in this liminal, I mean, like for sure, no, we are in this liminal space right now with everything going on, the uncertainty of what's going on in the world stage, and trying to find our own place, our own footing with how we want to proceed and the authenticity that we want to expose. You know, like we want to peel away these layers of programming and, yeah, just completely be liberated and be as authentic as possible. That is the goal, with especially with the North Node getting ready to move into Aquarius in a month, in, yeah, about a month and a half or so, end of June, I believe, end of June or July. So Aquarius is all about authenticity, and the North Node is our destiny. So that is the plan for the next 2.5 years. So yeah, it's all a process, and definitely hit me up if that's something that you want to explore yourself. It is a happy black hole. I mean, it is a happy rabbit hole. I think the Scorpio moon kind of infiltrates a lot of other ways I present myself. So 4 or 5 more months and it'll be a Sagittarius secondary progressed moon. So that'll be a lot more fun and lighthearted and, yeah, exciting. So hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully that made sense. I hope that y'all are enjoying the May weather. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thanks for so much for your patience and grace, and wishing you all a good rest of May, summer, and hope to see you on the next one. Love you so much. Ciao.